Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is I'm going to talk about um, how to deal with jealous cis women when you're transgender because I've dealt with this a lot, and I've just dealt with this last week, and I'm pretty annoyed. And I'm gonna tell you guys a little story time, and I'm gonna give you guys tips and tricks on how to deal with jealous cis women because it's really ridiculous. It's funny. Like I don't really know like what else to say or you know do about that. But before we begin, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a free way to help your girl out. And let's get started. Okay, so yeah, so my last living arrangement situation thing, I had two roommates. One was the guy, and he was like the landlord slash roommate, and then one was a girl. She was like a year older than me, and me and her, I thought we got along really well. Um, but I did notice like the last 2 weeks, you guys, I'm very intuitive. Like I can sense stuff, and like I really felt like she had an issue with me, a problem with me, and I don't know if she was jealous because I went and got my own apartment and she can't afford to leave. So I thought like maybe that's why. But like when she was in my face, she'd be really fake. And I could just sense the fakeness and feel like she just had an issue with me, like super jealous. And the thing too, y'all, like she's a drunk, like she just drink all the time. So those, like she just kind of says how she feels when she drinks a lot. So it's just kind of like, okay. But when me and her, like when we first moved in, and I'm gonna tell y'all why she was jealous. I'm gonna tell y'all why. It was absolutely insane to me. And I'm just like, this is the last time I will be going over there to hang out or whatever. So, what was I gonna say? So I moved in there, right? So my roommate, we're gonna call him Kevin, he had a girlfriend at the time, and they were only dating for like 2 weeks when I moved in. So the girl, we're gonna call her Tracy because she was crazy. No, we're gonna call her Crazy. That was her name because she was crazy, like psychotic crazy. Like I can't even make this up. I'll do like separate Storytime videos about her, but yeah, she was crazy. Um, she was just jealous of me like the moment, like, so the first time I moved in there, she was just super jealous of me, like just off the bat. Like when I came in, I was like, I just moved in here, like I don't even know anybody, like I'm just renting a room out. So I'm like, oh hi, like, just when I walk into a room, like I was raised like you say hello. Like she wouldn't say anything to me, like just hmm, whatever. And then Kevin, like, he didn't even like would talk to me or at all in the beginning, but like when she was gone, then he would talk to me. Like it was, yeah. So already messy. So yeah. She was just really crazy. Like she just assumed things a lot, and it was just totally not what it was. And she was just very insecure. And he ended up breaking up with her, but like they were on and off like constantly. But then like at the end of me moving out, like that's when she really wasn't coming over anymore. So yeah, and I was only there for 3 months. It felt like I've been there a whole year. But yeah. So my roommate, the we're gonna call her Alicia. We're gonna call her Alicia. So she basically was, she was cool. Like when I first moved in there, she was cool. Like me and her, we talked and stuff. The show Euphoria, I remember the show Euphoria was out for season 2, and like me and her, like I was like, oh, do you watch Euphoria? And she's like, oh my god, yes. So then like me and her, we like really connected off of the show Euphoria, and then that's how me and her became like really cool living together and stuff in the house. So long story short, like she would definitely have my back in the house. Like, sometimes Kevin, like I don't know, like me and her, like sometimes we would like go out party and stuff like that, and then we would come home like a little like tipsy stuff like that. So, she would have my back, stuff like that. I would have her back, and then and also too, like me and her, we did not like Kevin's girlfriend. We did not like her at all. So that's another like thing that me and her like were very like we had a lot in common was that we liked the show Euphoria and we did not like his girlfriend. So yeah. And all of that, she was a year older than me too. So everything like that. But yeah, so she basically like me and her was cool, stuff like that. All of a sudden, like, I put down an apartment. I go ahead and I tell her, I'm like, hey girl, like I just got an apartment, stuff like that. Oh yeah, by the way, so she was single too, y'all. Like she was single for a little bit, but then around like at the end of my second month, I only lived there for like 3 months. So I moved in Feb. No, yeah, no, I moved in March, April, May, and then I moved out in the middle of June. So I was really there for like 3.5 months. Okay. So yeah, around like the end of the second month, like she ended up getting a boyfriend. Um, and like everything like that. And also too, like none of them knew I was like transgender and stuff like that because I knew I wasn't about to live there. And Kevin too, like I don't know if he was really like okay with LGBT people because I made a reference like, oh, we should all go to the gay club and hang out and like have fun, and he was just flat out like, no, no, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like never mind. Stuff like that. So I just never felt comfortable like coming out. So, oh, I almost said her name, Alicia. Basically, what was I gonna say? Like she would bring her dude over and like he would spend the night and stuff like that. So I've never talked to this guy. Like I talked to him one time and they were sitting in the car together and he was completely drunk. Like he was just totally like wasted, like had too much to drink, and he was just talking to me, like just thinking I felt like he didn't even know where he was at because that's how wasted he was. Also too, like, but yeah, but anytime I've ever said anything to him, it was only between she was always there. So it was like, yeah, it was never even like that. So I do, I am very attracted. She is a big girl, you know what I mean? So like with me, I'm very tall, I'm skinny. I know, like I do my hair, I do my makeup, like I look really good. You can't, I look really good. I take care of myself. So I guess she kind of felt some type of way about that. Um, so that's not my fault. Like, girl, like I live right across the hall from you. Like, if you needed help doing your makeup or hair or whatever, like you could have just knocked on my door, girl, because I could have been the big sis that you needed. Period. No tea, no shade, but I'm just saying. So, with that being said, um, so I move out, right? Let me sip some tea too, because the tea is hot. So I mean, it's kind of like it's hot. I mean, it's juicy. Don't get me wrong. I got a little drip to it, but So here I am moving out. Of course, I have guy friends and stuff like that that they help me move my stuff, and they help me move it into my apartment. You know what I mean? So with her, like I put her on some game because she told me that like she's never had a guy give her flowers, never um you know do stuff for her. And I told her, and like I guess like when she goes on dates, like she pays half or like she ends up paying, stuff like that. And so me and her, I thought we was having like a sister moment. Like I just kind of looked at her like, what? Because when I go out, I never pay. The only time I'm gonna pay half with a man is if we're friends, and that's all it is, and that's all I see it as. Okay. Never have I ever paid. Well, only one time, but it ain't happen again after that. But I've never paid going out. Like when I go to, the bars or the clubs, like guys always pay for my drinks. Like I've never had to pay, and that's like really insane to me that like all these other like cis women, they're like, oh, I pay for my own stuff or I pay for his, and I look at them like, wait. So I'm like, oh, well, I mean, if you're comfortable doing that, and so I put her on some game, like, and she said like a guy never got her flowers before, and she's a year older than me, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, I've had plenty of ex boyfriends that sent me flowers to my job and like all of that, so that's like really crazy. Um, so I mean, I just told her, I was like, look, you deserve way better, and like, don't put up with no guy that like is not willing to like like take you out and treat you like the queen that you are, type stuff. So like I really put on some game and told her, what to do and stuff like that. So all of a sudden that her boyfriend was coming over, I don't know what her problem was. So after I moved into my apartment, I had a little package. I had a package, that was sent to the house. It came to the house late. And I ended up moving out before the package came. So luckily, I lived right around the corner from the last place I lived. So I went ahead and what did I do? I went ahead and so I went and got it. So Kevin's like hitting me up like, when are we gonna hang out? Stuff like that. Because me and Kevin, we did end up becoming like really cool and stuff like that. I did leave out of there on good terms. So like me and Kevin, we talk, hang out, stuff like that. But Kevin got me bent too. So we all like, hanging out, stuff like that. So here comes, and by the way, remember when I told y'all like I felt like she had an issue with me or something like that. Like she was just super quiet around me, like not really talking. Like I just felt a vibe, like she just was not kicking it with your girl. You know what I mean? But I was gonna say something and ask her about it, but to be honest, I was already moving up out of there like in 2 weeks, and I already signed for my apartment and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm like, it's whatever, And I'm thinking like maybe it's just in my head, and when you get a feeling, ladies, like just go with that. Like never be like brush it off and say it's in my head, because most likely it's not. So yeah. So basically, I go back. So me and Kevin are talking, stuff like that. Me and him, we take a shot. We're just talking, we're chilling, stuff like that. So all of a sudden, here comes Alicia, like comes out her room 30 minutes later, being super fake. She's like, "Oh hey, like I didn't even know you were even here, bitch. You heard my voice. You can hear my voice all the way from your room. Like don't play with me." So I'm just like, oh, hey, like, what's up? Like, girl, yeah, I just came to get my package. I thought I'd kick it for a bit. Like, so, of course, Kevin's all like, oh, let's all take a shot. So I'm like, yeah, okay. So, the alcohol's hitting, I'm in a good mood. I'm like, okay, like, whatever, bygones be bygones, like, whatever. So all of a sudden, it's like a few hours, like probably 4 hours later, like, here comes, Alicia. They're making dinner or whatever. Kevin has like a hot tub in the back, so we're like, okay, like, I'm about ready. He had a spare bikini, so I was about to put it on. It was clean, y'all. So I was about to go put it on. Alicia's dude, like, she's like, oh, my dude is here, stuff like that. So he's gonna come over, stuff like that. So I'm just like, okay, like, I didn't even think anything of it. Like, girl, I don't even be thinking about your man like that. So this is what she even said. So she literally, she opens the door, and so Kevin's like, 14-year-old son was like in his room too. So like, it was super embarrassing. It was super messy, and like, girl, you're not about to paint me out, so think what you think of me when I'm not even like that. She's like, oh, so my boyfriend's here, and Serenity, like, I just want to let you know, like, you do be kind of flirting with him, so I'm gonna need you not to do that. Baby, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, I literally turned around and looked at her, like, are you serious right now? Like, I literally look at Kevin too, and I'm like, did you just hear what she? And he said, he was like, I said, do I be flirting with her dude? Like, I flat out said that. I was like, do I flirt with your dude? Like, I've never talked to your dude like that. I even looked at Kevin. I was like, Kevin, have I ever flirted with her dude? And he told me some no. And I really looked at her like, are you serious? So Kevin was all like, oh wow, like that's such a like a low insecure move what you just did, Alicia. Yeah, so I'm starting to argue with her. I'm like, girl, you got me banned. I said I've never looked at your dude like that, and nobody even want his dusty ass. Like nobody want his ass, like stuff like that. So I'm going off. I'm like, you got me banned. I was like, I thought me and her was cool. Like you really gonna do that? I was literally like, y'all, like I was a little buzzed. I was buzzed and stuff like that, but. I was mad. Ooh, I was up to like a 10. I was like, you got me bent. I was like, you know what? It's not my fault that I'm very confident in myself and stuff like that. And it's not my fault that your dude is looking at me and stuff like that when I'm just being me and just doing me, type stuff. Like now I knew it. Like I knew, and I even looked at Kevin too. I said, remember I told you I felt like she had an issue with me. Now I know what the problem is. So, and I feel like, and this is the thing with y'all, cis women out there, if y'all cannot trust your man or whatever, or you feel like your man is gonna cheat on you or whatever, or you can't trust him, then break up with him and you don't even be with him. Like, I don't understand that. Like, the last dude I was with, I felt like I couldn't trust him and I broke up with him and I'm still doing fine on my own. Like, I feel like a lot of these ladies are just scared. And I'm not attacking cis women or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, don't be coming for me. Like, I'm all about spreading love and like positivity and stuff. And then you gonna try to do me inside me like that. And this isn't the first time this has happened. Like I've had a lot of women not want to talk to me or anything because I'm too feminine or I'm just too pretty, stuff like that. And I'm just so over it at this point. But yeah, Alicia got me bent. So I feel like in order how to deal with, so now that I told y'all, so by the way, I ended up I just left. I just walked up out of there. I can see her in the corner of my eye, like looking up at me, like she wanted to talk to me, and I was like, "Girl, we ain't cool no more. Like that was not cool what you did and what you said." And so her boyfriend was sitting here laughing and stuff. I was no, it was not funny. Like y'all are not about to pay me out to what? Like I've never even talked to you. Like, are you serious? And the only time I've probably talked to you like one time, and she was right there with you. Like to me, I just felt like that was crazy. That was insane. That just shows who she is as a person, very insecure and stuff like that. And also too, like she even said things like, "I'm trying to get him to fall in love with me," because she wanted to move out too, out of Kevin's place and get an apartment, but she couldn't, so she can't afford it. So she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make my man fall in love with me, and I'm gonna make him buy us a house and all that." And I'm like, "All right, good luck with that, sis. Like, depending on another person to save you, like, good luck." You sound stupid, but whatever. Um, I'm like, damn, like, why you gotta rely on another person to get you a place or whatever? Like, go get it yourself. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand that. So that's whatever. But yeah, so how to deal with like jealous cis women and stuff like that. Honestly, I literally just don't even talk. I just ignore it. Ignore it. Just kind of just laugh it off and just know like you're doing something right. And if you guys do somehow reconcile or like talk and stuff like that, don't even trust them because once the girl's jealous of you, I feel like it's just she's gonna go out her way and she's gonna be fakey fake nice and like really try to set you up or try to like sabotage you in the end. And then you know what I'm saying? Like so once a girl's jealous of you, honestly stay away from them. Just laugh it off and just think of it as like you're a fan and that's what it is. Like and honestly, like just don't even like associate with them. To be honest, I don't even be friends with them. Stuff like that. Because if you really hating on a chick like that, and and you just jealous or whatever, like just don't even say nothing. Um, but that's honestly how I deal with jealous women and stuff like that. I get it all the time, and if you're going through that, just know that you're not alone. And I had to put up with some BS. So yeah, so the next day, Kevin hits me up and he's like, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm at work." And so he was like, "When are you gonna come?" So I think like a couple days later, he hits me up and he's like, "Oh, you should come over after work and like let's hang out." I thought I told him like this. I said, honestly, no, I'm not ever coming over again. I just feel like there's a lot of negativity there. I said every time I go there, you do have women around you, and they're always just psychologically like insecure. They're always mentally attacking me. Stuff like that. And I just feel like you don't even have my back when it comes to that. Like when your ex girlfriend was there, you made it. You didn't even really say anything. Maybe you did, but like I just felt like you just kept bringing her around, and she was just creating a lot of drama. And then like the thing with Alicia too, when I came to you about it, is when I think it was like a month before I moved out. I even went to him. I was like, "Yo, I think Alicia, something's not right with her." Like also too with Alicia, like she cannot handle her liquor. Like she cannot like every time because I went out with her one time and I had to like really babysit her and watch her and stuff like that. And she was just too much. So I will definitely not be kicking it with her no more. Stuff like that. Um I'm trying to think like what else, but yeah, you guys. Yeah, but I thought I told him like this. I said for my mental health and like me moving up and stuff like that, like me just going back over there too, it's like I'm going back. And so I'm all about going forward and stuff like that. So I just thought I'm just told him like, I'm sorry, but I can't really kick it with you no more. So you do what you have to do for your mental health. Like so, and I just feel like you didn't really have he didn't really have my back when stuff went down, stuff like that. So, you know. But yeah, so that was a little story time video, and also how to deal with like jealous cis women and stuff like that. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay magical.